Every week, a new band. Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Live! Yeah.
Kia ora koutou katoa, kei te whakaronga mai koe ki te Radioactive FM, and today's Active Live session, made with support from New Zealand On Air. Ko Emiriu tuku ingoa I tēnei ahi ahi, we are joined live in studio by Yurt Party. How's it going?
Hello, it's good. Nice to be here.
A pleasure to have you all in. It's nice and packed in the Active Live room this afternoon. Would you like to go around and introduce the crew and what you all play?
Yeah, we've got, on my left here, we've got Josh Logan on the bass guitar. We've got Connor Hartley Hall on acoustic guitar, soon to be a gypsy jazz guitar.
Whoa.
And Tom Harris on the keys, Jimmy Rainey on the sax, and Thomas Spister on the drums. And I'm Lorenz on the violin.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And even more so, you've BYO'd a banner. It looks amazing. Made with love,
Thank you.
I hope.
Yeah, sure was.
Tell me more.
Okay. Well, this was my bed sheet when I was a baby.
Wow, that is love.
And now it's not.
That's quite the history. Is it indicative of the merch that you also have at the moment?
Well, it's I guess a similar vibe. We've got some T-shirts, we've got some CDs, we've got some vinyl. Not designed by bed sheets, but got a friend putting nice designs together. They look pretty good.
A little more full. And speaking of your merch, which may or may not be at the show this evening.
They'll be at the show, yep.
They will be at the show. You're playing at Meow tonight, and I feel very lucky to have some tickets to give away to our active whānau. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the show?
Yeah, as you might have heard, we're playing some high energy music. It's all original, we're writing it. With a whole lot of different inspirations, and we've just mashed them all together and made it our own. But the general vibe is high energy dance music, which we kind of call street party music.
And the perfect way to spend your Friday. So if those of you out there listening would like to email in at studiolive@radioactive.fm for a fun-free double pass to tonight's show, head on in now. We're keeping our eye on the messages. And do you want to play another song for us?
Love to, yeah. Cool. Ding Dong Swing.
You're listening to Active Live with Yurt Party. It looks like lots of fun to play in a circle. Do you often get to all look at each other while you're playing?
Yeah, it's great. It's great playing in a circle, yeah.
Very fun. You are up in Wellington as part of a 3-part tour at the moment. How's the tour been so far? Any highlights of Dunedin and Otatai?
Yeah, it's awesome. We started off in Dunedin at the Crown Hotel, which is a really cool venue in the city centre. Shout out to Jones, amazing host at the Crown Hotel.
Did you get a platter of goodies?
Oh, you know
show?
all about it. Yes, platter. Got a whole platter after the gig of nice food, pastries, sandwiches. Really good. Then we played at Loons in Christchurch. We did our typical nighttime show and also a families show, where lots of kids came with their parents and lots of balloons. And then the nighttime show was an awesome big packed dance floor, lots of lights. It's our home show. It's a lot of fun, a lot of friends there. And now we're just stoked to be here in Wellington.
Up in the big smoke. You've played a variety of venues on this trip, and as you just said, both for families and more restricted shows. Do you have a preference between those kind of like the intimate gigs like those you get at the Crown versus those bigger daytime street parties and such?
Oh, both are so much fun, just for their own reasons. Yeah, big vibes at the big concerts, and yeah, it's really nice being able to see the audience. That's a big thing for me, at least. Yeah, it's nice to be able to connect. Sometimes the stage lights are really bright, and it's just this sea of darkness when you look out at the audience. But yeah, that's just a venue-dependent thing, I guess.
Yeah, Meow will be the perfect spot then, a blend of the two.
Awesome.
There's a lot of you in that room. Do you travel well? Do you get along on tour?
You kind of have to. I don't think we would have lasted 5 years if we didn't get along.
Absolutely. And 5 years is a long time of playing live. Has there been a most memorable conga line?
Ooh, what do you reckon? Just maybe Tora Bambora? Tora Bambora. Actually, I think you can't beat Tora Bambora.
Full stop, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the entire crowd was one, maybe 3 conga lines. Who knows? It's hard to tell. Anyway, kicking up a lot of dust. There was a couple of human pyramids in amongst it, I think. Yeah, it was wild.
That does sound fun.
It was actually Connor's first gig with us. Yeah.
Setting the mark nice and high. Is that
yeah. And we just told him this is how it always is.
Yeah. And it is. It is always like that, isn't it? Do you have a big packed summer lineup of tours coming, or are you keeping it on the down low?
What have we got? We're playing at Electric Ave in Hackley Park in Christchurch. What else are we doing? A few other spots. Yeah. Maybe if you followed our social media, you'd find out about them.
Too right. That is a good way to find out. And you mentioned earlier that you are playing all originals at your show tonight. So does that mean that Star Wars Cantina that you teased the studio with earlier was just for the people in station at the time?
Wow, we haven't done that at one of our shows before. Well, yeah, last weekend we did it at a private function. It was a birthday, and it was a special request for their birthday. So we learnt Cantina for them. That's
awesome. I've been given a question by someone else who works here at the station, and they wanted to know that if you could rescore any children's movie, what would it be?
Dumbo.
Dumbo? Really?
The reason? Sorry, that wasn't me talking. The reason for Dumbo? I actually don't even know the score for Dumbo, sorry.
It's one of the saddest movies ever made.
Well,
there we go.
Unfortunately the person who suggested Dumbo isn't on the mic, and I don't know the score.
Damn. Well, maybe you get to make your whole own one, I suppose. You've got more music to play for us, is that right?
Yeah, our next track is actually the single we're on tour to release.
Amazing.
It's called Failure. And originally it was inspired by the Afrobeat legend Fela Kuti. And it started out quite Afrobeat. And, well, as it happens when we're writing tunes, it evolves and disassembles and reassembles and morphs into a Yurt party something. Now it's kind of sounding a little bit more almost rock steady. But anyway, it's got Yurt party written all over it. So actually one more funny story though, in the evolution process when we played this live, it was really tricky to finish. It would always be da-da-da-dum, da-da-dum, which would normally be the end. And then one of us, could be any of us, would go da-da-dum, forcing everyone else to go respond, dun, 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 dun. But you'll hear all about it in just a moment.
Awesome intro. I see what you mean. Is it weird to describe a song as chatty? Like, there's totally a conversation there. It could go on and on forever. Chit chat. So we've been talking a lot about what you're up to now, but how did Yurt Party come to be, this collection of you all?
Bit of evolution. Me and the keyboard player, we went to school together. So we played some Romanian tunes together, and we added a drummer, and then we played as a trio for a while, and just slowly added players as the friends came about, and the talent. And now we've just really solidified as a core group.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is sort of the collaboration process between you all? How does a Yurt party track come to be?
So it'll usually be one person comes up with an idea. Could be a really big idea, a fully fleshed out idea, or a really small idea that then gets jammed and extended. An example would be the first tune was a lot of really small ideas that got puzzled together over time. And the second tune that we played was more of a fully formed song. But no matter what song, we're all kind of developing together, adding layers, trying out different ways of playing the same thing and seeing what comes about, but tying it all to have a good groove and very danceable is the kind of tying together feature.
Absolutely. Do you find that you get to surprise each other sometimes when you're playing live or practicing and just absolutely throwing a curveball in?
All the time. Makes it really fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. And you've been playing across the Motu live a lot, but how was the transition from that into recording things and releasing music over the last couple of years?
Transition. Well, yeah, I guess we tend to be playing a tune on the road quite a bit before recording, because our tunes, I guess, take a while to evolve, as I said before. So we're usually playing them a lot before, and yeah, well, at least a couple of my friends have said, "Oh, there's a new release coming. Oh, I know that one." Yeah, so I guess by the time we're in the studio, it's already been played a lot live.
Yeah, absolutely. That is always really cool as someone as well who receives music that way round, being like, oh my gosh, I remember hearing this song at that gig that one time. I'm there. I'm part of it. Well, it's been such a pleasure having you in this afternoon. My final question today is that little thing we talked about beforehand of the Ask It Forward segment we do here for the Active Lives. So has anyone thought of a question that you'd like to ask next week's guest?
The question that we're going to ask next week's guest is, if you had to do a tribute show or album, what artist or what album would you cover?
Love that. A forced tribute, though. You have no choice in the matter. Which one is it? We had the pleasure of having Woody Donna in last week. And I feel like I need to give you a little bit of context for this question. We were talking about how Bianca has a 3-year-old nephew, and she loves to watch the nephew try and dance to her music. She can never figure it out. And I feel like that's quite a good question for you lot, as you've played for families a lot before. And it is, would you ever write a song with a 3-year-old child's mobility in mind of how they could dance to it?
Absolutely. I think we already do.
Yeah, there might even be one or two out there. Perfect. Well, you have one final track for us this afternoon?
Yes, we do. Yep. It's called Truculent. And, well, it had a floating title. There was a bit of a coup in the band. And a few of us were trying to change it to Ice Road Truckers. And that got shouted out at a gig, and yeah, that got shut down. It's now Truculent. Right,
they're both very similar titles. Can't wait to hear it. You've been listening to Yurt Party for this active live session made with support from New Zealand On Air. Shout out to Ruby for winning tickets to tonight's gig, and if you're also keen on a dance this evening, you can catch Yurt Party at Meow. A special thanks to Music Planet Wellington and Double J Backline for providing some gear to make this session possible. I've been Amiria Kakite.
Thanks, Amiria. Thanks for having us.
Active Live. Friday, 3:30. Every week a new band. In studio. Brought to you by NZ On Air.